Welcome to Políglota Studio, your destination for learning languages in an exciting and entertaining way. In today's video, A Love in the Storm, we will immerse you in a captivating story that will help you improve your English skills. Let's enjoy this story and learn English together.
A few years ago, on a stormy night that seemed to carry the weight of the world on my shoulders, I found refuge in a small cafe in the city. The rain pounded the windows fiercely, and the wind made the trees twist in a desperate dance. I, with a heavy heart, sank into the solitude of my table, unable to shake off the sadness that had been with me for weeks. The place was dimly lit by a soft golden glow emanating from the hanging lamps. The scent of freshly ground coffee mixed with the comforting sound of raindrops hitting the glass. I took a sip of my coffee, bitter like my mood, and observed the people sharing the cafe's shelter. That's when I saw her. A girl with sparkling eyes and dark hair, wearing a smile that defied the storm, approached my table. She kindly asked if I'd mind sharing the table with her since all other seats were occupied. Reluctantly, I agreed, unaware that it would be the moment when my life would change forever. Her name was Elena. We began to talk, and her optimistic energy brightened my darkness. We discovered we shared passions and dreams, and our laughter filled the cafe. We talked about books, movies, and the places we dreamed of visiting. That night, while the outside world roared with the storm, I found peace in her words and comfort in her company. With time, our friendship evolved into something deeper. Our meetings at the cafe became a tradition. Every week, I eagerly awaited the moment our gazes met amid the bustle. My love for her grew with each passing day, but shyness held me back from confessing my feelings. However, before I could gather the courage to speak about what I felt, something unexpected happened. That night, as we shared a cup of tea, she received a call that changed everything. It was a job offer abroad, an opportunity she couldn't refuse. I saw her eyes fill with excitement and her voice trembled with emotion as she hung up the phone. I learned with a mix of happiness for her success and devastation at her imminent departure. That night, in the same cafe where we had met, we said our goodbyes with tears in our eyes and a hug that felt like a final farewell. I promised myself that, even though distance separated us, I would never forget the girl who had illuminated my life on the darkest night. The following months were challenging. I missed her laughter, her stories, and her light. Empty conversations with others only reminded me of how much I needed her in my life. But time marched on, and I continued with my daily routines, clinging to the memories of our nights at the cafe. A year later, while I was on a business trip in a foreign city, I unexpectedly crossed paths with her. I was at a train station, looking around absent-mindedly, when our eyes met. There was a moment of astonishment, followed by nervous smiles, and finally, a hug that felt like sealing destiny. It turned out that life had brought her back home just when I was visiting. It was as if the universe had conspired to reunite us once more. We spent hours at the station, sharing stories of our months apart. It was evident that, though we had been apart, our feelings hadn't changed. We didn't waste a second. I confessed my feelings, and she responded with a smile that brightened my world once again. We decided not to let anything or anyone separate us this time. Together, we faced the challenges life presented, building a love stronger than any storm. Today, when I look back, I can't help but smile, remembering how two lost souls found each other in a cafe on a stormy night. True love can overcome any obstacle, even when it seems like destiny is against us. Our story is a reminder that sometimes love has the final say, and every storm can give way to a clear sky filled with love. We live happily and together, knowing that destiny had brought us together once again, forever. Years later, our love story had blossomed into a beautiful relationship. We had overcome the challenges of distance and built a future together. Our favorite cafe, where we first met, became our special place, where happy memories piled up like autumn leaves. One afternoon, in that same cafe, with the scent of fresh coffee in the air, Elena looked at me with a nervous yet radiant smile in her eyes. I knew something was happening. Tenderly, I took her hand and asked her what was going on. Her words flowed like a swift, clear stream. Do you remember the job offer abroad that I had to turn down when we first reunited? She began. I nodded, recalling the moment our lives had intertwined once more. Well, it turns out a new opportunity has come up, and this time, I feel it's something I must do. But I don't want to be far from you again. My emotions swirled in a whirlwind of joy and concern. On one hand, I was happy for her success and the opportunities coming her way. On the other, the idea of being separated again filled me with sadness. I knew that, as a couple, we needed to make decisions together, so I asked her, "What do you plan to do?" Elena looked at me earnestly and said, "I want you to come with me." Her words hung in the air, and my heart pounded. She continued to explain that she had been working on a way for both of us to pursue our careers and be together. She had researched job opportunities abroad for me and made sure we could build a future together, no matter where life took us. The idea of embarking on this new stage of our lives together filled me with excitement. It was an opportunity to create new memories, explore new places, and grow even closer as a couple. I enthusiastically accepted her proposal, and we decided to embark on this adventure together. The months that followed were filled with preparations, emotional goodbyes, and the excitement of what lay ahead. We packed our lives into suitcases and ventured abroad, ready to face the world together. Each day was a new adventure, and every night in our special cafe reminded us of how we met and how we had overcome obstacles together. Our love only grew with time, strengthened by our determination to always be by each other's side. And so, as the world kept turning and time marched on, our love remained strong and unwavering, a testament that destiny had brought us together forever. We lived our life, building a future filled with love, adventures, and memories that would bind us for all eternity. After several years of adventures together abroad, our love had grown into an unbreakable bond. We had explored new places, met wonderful people, and shared experiences that only strengthened our connection. Each day was a gift that we cherished to the fullest, and our love story continued to be written with unforgettable moments. A special day came when I felt it was the right time to take the next step in our relationship. I carefully planned a surprise for Elena in our special cafe, the place where we first met and shared so many special moments. I adorned the table with candles and flowers, creating an intimate and romantic atmosphere. When we arrived at the cafe that night, Elena noticed the decoration, and her eyes filled with surprise and excitement. As we shared a delicious dinner, we reminisced about our memories and everything we had experienced together. The moment was perfect. Finally, when desserts arrived at our table, I stood up and took Elena's hand tenderly. Looking into her eyes, I told her how much she meant to me and how she had changed my life since the day we met in that very cafe, amidst a storm. Then, I pulled a small box from my pocket and opened it in front of her. Inside, a gleaming engagement ring shone, a symbol of my love and eternal commitment. With a trembling voice, I asked her if she would be willing to marry me, to be my partner for life. Tears of joy filled Elena's eyes as she enthusiastically nodded and said yes. The cafe erupted with applause and joy from the onlookers who had witnessed this special moment in our lives. After getting engaged, we began planning our wedding. We wanted it to reflect our history, so we decided to marry in the same cafe where we first met. It was an intimate and beautiful ceremony, filled with love and happiness, with friends and family celebrating with us. Our life after getting married was a continuation of the adventure we had started together. We continued to explore the world, but now as husband and wife, facing each challenge hand in hand and sharing every joy. We grew as individuals and as a couple, learning to support each other at every step of the way. Our days were filled with laughter, love, and new experiences. We started a family and lived a full life, always remembering how we met in that cafe on a stormy night and how our love had blossomed and grown over the years. And so, as time moved forward and our lives continued, our love story remained an endless source of joy and happiness. We found in marriage the promise of an eternal future together, and each day was an opportunity to celebrate our love and the incredible adventure we had embarked on together.
Thank you for joining us in this story and for learning English with us. We invite you to subscribe, like, and leave a comment to continue enjoying our content. Your support is crucial for our growth. Until the next adventure in Políglota Studio.